Well, bathed in sunlight, welcome to Tabor in the southern Bohemian region of the Czech Republic for round 2 of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup for 2013-2014. I'm Dan Jarvis. I'll be bringing you the action today in the elite races, and the crowd's already starting to fill out at the side of the course, ready for the women's race getting underway in just under 10 minutes time. So this is our venue, the beautiful city of Tabor. Around about 36,000 people live in here. Jan Žižka, the folk hero, the great general, is his statue in the middle of the square there. And one of the most picturesque settings for racing on the World Cup calendar. And out just on the outskirts of the city is the race venue. It's going to be a tough course here for the riders. Conditions not too bad. Here's the previous winners, Sanne van Paassen of the Netherlands, Katrina Nash with the home win in 2011. Marianne Vos, former winner, but of course not here for round 2 of the UCI World Cup. She is the World Cup leader, the winner in Valkenburg, but that is pretty much it for her participation towards the end of the year. She is having a minor operation to relieve some back problems. So Katie Compton, the US national champion, is the de facto leader. Weather is pretty good, 16 degrees, not bad for the end of October. The sun is shining, just a few small puffs of cloud in the sky. And you can see beautiful layout of the course. Here's the course, 3 1/3 kilometers long. The course winds its way through mostly grasslands, up and down some pretty stiff banks, back onto the tarmac, start finish straight. And the pits, the double pits, all important. Crowds forming down there at the start line.
Number 36, also from Germany,
Chanel Lefebvre there, Lucy Chanel Lefebvre on the front row. There is Katie Compton, the US national champion. Nikki Harris alongside her, the British champion. Third in Valkenburg, Helen Wyman in the European champions jersey there, the blue with the stars. Took that win last year in Ipswich. And the Kona rider looking to claim her first World Cup podium of the year. Pavla Havlikova will be carrying a lot of home hopes on her shoulders. A diminutive Czech rider, teammate of Nikki Harris.
Byla na 3. místě a porazila ji vítěznásobná legendární Hanka Krnábel. Takže naše Pavla Havlíková, šampionky, reprezentující 50.
Gabby Durin, formerly known as Gabby Day, got married earlier this year, and she is in her Rafa Focus colours. Finished just outside the top 10 in Valkenburg, so she'll be looking to move up. Here's the start list. Remember, goes in national team order. This is not the ranking as they're called up. So the Dutch with a slightly depleted team, and going through the Czechs as you would expect, with a pretty strong team there. Havlikova and Mikulášková in there, Stepanova as well. Chanel Lefebvre and Ferrier-Bruno, who took 4th place in Valkenburg, going right through Sanekant of Belgium. Kloppenberg, a sole representative for Denmark. Medvedova and Vojtěsová heading up the Slovakian team, and Asa Erlendsson in there as well for Sweden. So the teams all getting ready in the pits. So heading along the front row, Gabby Durin there from the Great Britain. Ellen van Looy from Belgium. Should be easy to spot out on the course there. The French national champion, little bit of a knowing wink there from Lucie Chanel Lefebvre. And we have 2 minutes until the race gets underway. The Belgian national champion, Sanekant, for BKCP. Katie Compton in the stars and bars there, riding for the Czech Cyclo-Cross Collective, the former Paralympic medalist. She was the pilot of the tandem. Very successful tandem pairing for the USA. Swapped over to the solo career of cyclocross. Nikki Harris, an accomplished rider on the road, on the track. She's been British mountain bike champion as well, and really establishing herself as one of the names now. And Helen Wyman, who has led Great Britain to become the top-ranked nation in the world over the last season or so, the European champion, and a woman who is actually retiring at the end of this year, Christelle Ferrier-Bruno. She retires in November, so this is her last ever World Cup. She was just off the podium at round 1, and with just a matter of seconds to go before we get underway, can she sign off in style? 30 seconds. Pavla Havlikova will carry the hopes of the home crowd in the absence of Katarina Nash. Just a quick warning there that anyone false starting gets disqualified. They will go on the lights. Just looking across, you can see, looks like only Wyman is going for the disc brakes here. Underway. And it looks like all safely underway. Here we go then, up towards the start. No surprise to see Katie Compton set in a pace, but Van Looy, Ellen Van Looy, it is who leads them through. Gabby Durin has also come up well there into 2nd place as they head out on the tarmac. You're not going to win the race here, but you can lose it with a bad start. And it's Nikki Harris on the inside then. Nikki Harris, the British national champion, then takes the front of the pack. Then it's Van Looy, then comes Compton. Wyman is up there. And you can see it's quite an undulating course here. Lots of little bumps and banks to negotiate. Good job, really, that it is quite dry, because this would be horrible, horrible riding in the wet. So much grass. Harris then already stating her intentions, going out fast here. Van Looy leading the chase. Then comes Compton, then it's Wyman, then Durin. Makes her way through there, and you can just see, looks like Havlikova is coming up onto the wheel of Gabby Durin, so round about 5th or 6th place for the Czech rider, around that Bako hairpin. And it is Harris setting the pace. Sanakant up there as well. Chanel Lefebvre is well placed too, over the hump. Compton charging hard there to try and stay up. Chanel Lefebvre just dropping back slightly from the leaders. And some of the younger riders here getting experience. Some of the Dutch and Czech teams, quite young riders. It's Wyman up to 2nd place now then. Harris opt in. Oh, I thought she was opting to ride, but they're all shouldering the bikes. Wyman already had the bike off, coming around the hairpin. Up the steps. Almost looked like Harris hesitated there, staying on the bike for a second longer, but she's kept the pace going, and that was a good move as well from Sanakant. The Belgian champion has moved up now into 3rd place, so it's Wyman dropping back from those lead 3 positions. It is Nikki Harris then still leading from the 2 Belgians now, Van Looy and Kant. Then comes Compton, then Wyman, and it looks like Paula Havlikova has moved up well there. Good tempo set here by Nikki Harris, making the others have to work to close up that gap. Towards the hurdles. And it's all about the technique with hurdles. So easy to lose a bike length, 2 bike lengths, just through a moment's inattention. And it has allowed Kant to close up that gap. Harris wasn't quite as smooth maybe over the first hurdle, and it just allowed the others to close in slightly. But you can already see the lead contenders are setting a pace which is starting to pull them clear. Van Looy having to undo the zip just to try and cool down slightly. Around about 16, 17 degrees, so it isn't cold. It's sunny here in Tabor as well, so the riders, certainly one thing they are not going to be troubled by at all is the cold. So Harris, Kant, Van Looy in that order at the moment. Then comes Compton, then Wyman, then Halikova. Through the switchbacks here. Just trying to see who is leading that chase quartet coming through. They're just about to make contact. I think Ferrer-Bruno is in that group. And the field well and truly strung out now. Big gap starting to appear because of this relentless opening pace from the British champion Nikki Harris. Now don't forget, you can, if you've got any questions or comments about the coverage or the racing, if you want to drop me a tweet, it's at World Cup Dan. And looking forward to getting some tweets from all the Australians who sit up late into the night to tune in. Halikova starting to make a move here, the little Czech rider, teammate of Nikki Harris on the Youngstown Fidea team. Slots up now to 5th place. Harris focused though at the front, driving this race on. And we're going to see a new winner here out of these riders. No Voss, no Nash, no Van Passeren here. Plenty of encouragement here. Czech crowd always knowledgeable, and they're being rewarded with not just some good racing, but some good weather as well. Harris then onto the tarmac, leading them through. Kant will come through in 2nd place. And Compton on the tarmac suddenly attacks there. Jumped across to the side and came through. Antonov well up there as well for the US in 9th place. Chanel Lefebvre, then comes Miller. Tabor leading through that little group as well.
Close the gap to the lone leader Nikki Harris. So now we have 4.
Looks to me like Compton has decided now it's her time to set the tempo, and she's gone on the attack. And Harris has responded. So too has Kant. Halikova is in there too. Van Looy's in there. Little bit of a gap there back to Wyman. But Helen Wyman is so experienced, she won't panic. She knows we're very, very early into this race. Katie Compton then. Still a track champion as well, won the US Madison title. So we know she has explosive speed as well. And she is leading them through over the humpbacks. Harris there, 2nd, Kant in 3rd. Havlikova in fourth, and Wyman just having to chase a little bit here to close that gap. Then comes Durin, then Chanel Lefebvre. And you know, in a lot of ways, this season we're starting to see some young names coming through as well. Very much the case in the men's race, of course. We'll be seeing that action later on. At the hurdles then. Sorry, at the steps, and every time you see the techniques, the varying techniques, some paying off better than others. It's all about trying to get that fluid transition of the bike up onto the shoulder, not losing any pace at all. Christelle Ferrier-Bruno, you saw there, just trying to get the bike up in a smooth movement. And the leaders coming through. Got to say, the crowd here very inventive with their encouragement. We got air raid sirens, we have chainsaws without the blades on them, all sorts of noise-making equipment brought out by the Czech. Now, change of bike there for Compton. Hasn't lost too much momentum there, just allows Harris to move up, and her teammate Halikova is up now to second place. Then comes Compton slots in to fourth place. Then Ferrier-Bruno, then Van Looy. Where's Wyman? She's a little bit behind. There she is over the hurdles. And these 5, 6 riders are trying to set a pace here. Caitlin Antonow is having a great ride for the Cannondale powered by cyclocrossworld.com team. She's up there in those top 10 riders. Currently ranked 16th in the world. Took 13th at round 1, and the US really has developed into a real hotbed of cyclocross. Some great events over there. Cross Vegas, of course, probably the most famous in terms of the crowds, and Razzmatazz. So that chasing trio, Wyman is in there. She's got Lucie Chanel Lefebvre, the French champion, with her, and Caitlin Antonow. Compton has gone back to the front of the race then, and just opening the gap ever so slightly on the second of the Belgians, Alan Van Looy. And she has Christelle Ferrier-Bruno with her. Now remember, Ferrier-Bruno will be retiring in November. This is her last World Cup appearance. So, Compton and Harris with that high tempo right from the start. They're slowly whittling down the rest of the field, and now Compton is on the front. Havlikova looking to produce a strong ride at home. Currently there in second place. The Australian boys are staying up. I think they've made some strong coffee. So, good evening to the guys at Port Adelaide CC. And if you are an Aussie and want to get into cyclocross, you're around Adelaide area, Their Summer Cyclo-Cross Twilight Series will start on the 12th of November. So Summer Cyclo-Cross for those guys, making the most of Southern Hemisphere sunshine. Compton is starting to turn the screw here. A little gap back to Harris and Halikova, then Kant, then Van Looy, then comes Ferrier Bruno, and then it's Wyman. Katie Compton, the US national champion, riding for the Czech Cyclo-Cross Collective, trying to ride herself into that World Cup leaders jersey. She is the defending World Cup champion.
She's a little bit losing the ground and the gap between her.
On the descent, you can see the tuck coming from Compton. She attacks every part of the course here. Sanakant desperately trying to get herself back up onto that Telnet-Fadea tandem of Harris and Havlikova. So 3 laps to go here. Compton just adjusting her position on the bars, trying to stay comfortable. Harris with her teammate locked in behind her. Coming through, it's been a hard start to the season for the Telnet-Fadea team. They lost their teammate Amy Dombrowski just before the start of the season, but they have bounced back. It takes a lot really for these riders to come through, because it's such a small family, the cyclocross family, all been affected. But the best way to remember their friends is racing. Compton going clear then. And she's opened up the gap slightly now. Harris has got to respond to try and keep that gap pegged. Halikova trying to stay on the wheel of Harris. Looks like they both managed to just close in slightly, trying to find the shortest route through those tight corners, and they are closing in again on Compton. Katie Compton then making her way through these hairpins. You can see they use the absolute maximum width of the course, brushing against the netting as they go through. And this race is really being blown apart now. Chanel Lefebvre, the French champion, is starting to try and pick up the pace here. Wyman alongside her. Got Anna Buick coming in there. Anna from the pits on Twitter. She's hoping the Telnet tandem is going to come back to Katie Compton, and it does look like they have done that. They've come right back up to her at the foot of the stairs. And what they have is the advantage, if they can be on a back wheel, is they can attack Compton. Sanakant still well up there. Van Looy, who was well placed right at the start, just starting, I think, to tire. And Havlikova takes the front. The tiny rider from the Czech Republic has moved to the front, and the crowd just responded there a little bit to cheer her on there. Compton back onto the shoulder, back out of the saddle, trying to re-establish her command of this race. It is still Compton, Halikova, Harris. Just looking to see, thought Harris was going to dip into the pits there for a second. Kant is still in 4th place, but is some way down now. She's chasing hard to try to get back up to the wheel of Nikki Harris, the British champion. And through the hurdles they come once again. The crowd cheering them on smoothly through. It is easier when you don't have a pack of people around you. Sanne Cant is absolutely burying herself to try and get across to the 3 leaders. Ellen van Looy looks like she has got a second wind here. And also moving up the woman who was 5th in Valkenburg, and that's Christophe Ferrier-Bruno. Then comes Chanel Lefebvre and Wyman up there as well. Gabby Durin looking for a top 10 here at the moment. Compton, Halikova and Harris then. It's looking like the podium positions may already have been selected. It's now a matter of which order they're going to come in. Sanne Cant just going through there across that part of the field. Just the body language just seemed to say to me she doesn't have the power to close back in. And it looks as well like Livia Hanasova from Slovakia. Tell me that is Caitlin Antonou riding particularly well. Harris then moving back ahead of her teammate. The British champion, the Czech champion, chasing the US champion. It is a race of champions, because in 4th place then comes the Belgian champion. All of those national colours at the front. It's Katie Compton, though, the US champion, riding for Czech Cyclo-Cross Collective, who leads them through. Keep those tweets coming in at World Cup. Dan, if you are following us on the UCI channel, you got any questions, you got any comments you want to make on the race as it's playing out? Compton again putting the pressure down. Again, it's Harris who responds as they chase down the drop. And it's a tantalising gap here at the moment. From Compton back to Harris, back out of that low area, and it's round about 2-3 seconds, the gap for Compton. Chasers coming through. Just to remind you, we take a bit of a gap in the World Cup over the next few weeks. Round 3 is takes us to the dunes at Koksteider, one of the iconic venues of World Cyclo-Cross. That's going to be on the 23rd of November, so join us for that. It's 3 back-to-back World Cup rounds in Belgium. Again, there's going to be another month's gap, then it's Namur on the 22nd of December, and then on Boxing Day, 26th of December, Hoystenzolder host around, and then into the new year, Rome and Nome will host rounds of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup. Compton, I think, has started to open up the lead now. She's established that lead. Harris and Halikova chasing here onto the tarmac. We're going to complete another lap here. There'll be 2 laps to go. And you can see now Compton almost assuming that kind of tri-bar relaxed position that you'll see in road racing, trying to ride a bit of tempo, trying to save some energy as well on the tarmac. 7 seconds now is the gap. Sanakan coming through here, head bobbing now as she tries to match them for the pace. 18 seconds back to her. Then comes Van Looy in 5th place, the second of the Belgians. And coming through, this is a fantastic ride for Meredith Miller, up to 6th place. Ferrier Bruno in 7th. Then Chanel Lefebvre in 8th. Antonio in 9th, Wyman in 10th. And it looks like it is going to be Durin in 11th. De Boer in 12th, top of the Dutch riders there, Sophie De Boer. So you're stronger than round 1 where she was 22nd. She's moving up, and Fleur Calvinage just dropping back. Going to drop back in those standings slightly. Meredith Miller, though, 17th at Valkenburg. She is going to be moving up the standings with this ride, and she really is one of the names to follow from US cyclocross now for the Californian giant Berry Farms specialized team. The US then with 3 riders up there in the top 10. Belgium with 2, Great Britain are not having the usual stranglehold in terms of team riders up there, national riders up there. It's just Nikki Harris up there at the moment in those leading positions. France well placed as well, but looks to me like Miller looks very strong here, just slotting on the back there. They've closed in on Van Looy. That's her and Ferrier Bruno, and Ferrier Bruno goes straight past. Compton onto the steps, still holding that gap. Harris giving chase with Halikova, almost synchronized as they remount. Sanakan. Now for me, a little bit better on the technique there for Sanakan. She comes into the steps with a little bit more momentum. Miller, real strong, powerful, tall athlete. And she also is going to go past the Belgian now. Ellen Van Looy might just be paying the price for going with the leaders right at the start. And Miller has got her eyes fixed on the back wheel there of the Frenchwoman. So good to have you joining us. We've got people joining us from all over the world. The Aussies are setting up till late into the night to watch the action. And if you do want to tell us what you think of the UCI World Cup so far this year, just give us a tweet at World Cup Dan. Now, the chase is still on. Compton is holding that gap. Harris and Halikova just cannot seem to close in. Sanakant is in 4th place, and she is being chased down now by the woman who is in her last World Cup race, Christelle Ferrier-Bruno. She retires in November. Chasing hard here, Meredith Miller having a fantastic ride. The big, tall American rider is still up there in contention for a top 5 finish. Compton looking to pick up her first World Cup win of the season, put herself back into that jersey, which she has pretty much had ownership of over the last couple of seasons. And it's just ways to see what is left in the tank for Nikki Harris or Paula Havlikova. I just wonder if in the back of her mind, Paula Havlikova is kind of thinking, wow, I'm going to be on the podium here in my home race. Just thinking whether or not that may just influence the way she rides now. So we're going to have about 9-10 minutes of racing ahead of us to see who is going to be able to claim the win here in Tabor, in the sunshine of Tabor. We didn't really expect to have such fantastic conditions. Pretty sure this is going to be a first World Cup podium for Havlikova. As it stands at the moment, if it stays in this order, Harris will equal her best ever result. Compton, of course, has picked up a hatful of World Cup wins over the last few seasons. Are we going to see any drama on this last lap? Sanakant is hanging on there to that 4th place, and she is being chased now by Ferrier-Bruno and Miller. Van Looy, I think, is out of contention for those places. We've got a question coming in, and it's one I can't answer for R. Hendry. Why there's no YouTube broadcast in the US? We'll try and find out for you. At the moment, I don't know, and I'm afraid I'm going to concentrate on the racing because we're into the close of the race. But I know the guys in the US, a massive cyclocross following there, and of course with Katie Compton leading at the moment.
It is dedicated to the fight against breast cancer, raise awareness to her fund to raise money for the fight against this.
Compton again puts the power on. That track speed evident every time she gets out of the saddle and applies the pressure. And it is Harris and Havlikova who are following. It's going to be 1 lap to go here. There's the bell, and we'll look to see what the gap is for Katie Compton. It was 7 seconds last time round. It's going to be slightly more than that when she comes through. 9 seconds, 10 seconds. The gap back to Harris and Havlikova. Sanakant has effectively been riding a time trial for the last few laps here in no man's land. I just wonder if Meredith Miller is about to launch a big attack here. She looks very cool and collected. Little smile almost on her face as she hears the bell. She moves up to 5th place. Van Looy in 7th. The US riders having a great time here. Antonov is in 8th place. Chanel Lefebvre in 9th. Wyman in 10th. And it looked like it might have just been Sophie de Boer of the Netherlands riding for Young Telnet Fedea coming up there for 11th place.
Women, second leg of this year UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup.
And I think we are looking at a situation now where unless Katie Compton has a mechanical problem, she is going to wrap up the win here in Tabor and take over the leader's jersey in the absence of Vos.
Here is the start in the last World Championships.
The two riders here for the Young Telnet Fedea team have tried to match Compton, but she's got that gap. And unless she has a mechanical or a puncture or just cramps up totally, I cannot see that these two are going to be able to close that gap. But stranger things have happened in cyclocross races. In fact, as Compton just looked down at her bike there, I'm not sure. She comes into the steps. I don't know if I'm trying to generate a little bit more drama than actually was there, but it did look like Compton looked down at her bike. Harris and Halikova are still together. And it is, Compton has got a problem. Compton has got a problem with the bike. She's having to run it. Oh, goodness me. There was no reason there for Compton to be running other than a mechanical problem. And has that let these two back in? Surely it isn't going to come down to a mechanical. Harris is going to be spurred on now. So too is Halikova. The gap has just come down to about 3 seconds. And what you don't want is to be sprinting with gear problems. Can Katie Compton hang on? There was a definite look down to the bike and then out of the steps. She was running with the bike. She'd have gone into the pits or not. No, she's obviously confident that the bike is okay. No bike change there for her. Harris and Havlikova have closed in. The question is going to be whether Compton has managed to sort that out. It looks at the moment like she has. This will be the crunch time, almost literally. If there's a problem, Harris and Halikova, that's foreshortening there of the camera. But these two have closed in. But is it enough? Compton is just tantalizingly out of reach at the moment. It is still Compton from Harris and Halikova. It is these three in contention for the win. Compton holding on there. Harris, though, looks to me like she's found something else. She's found another gear. She's chasing hard. The head has gone over to one side, and that is when you know that Nikki Harris is giving it absolutely everything. Her head goes over to the side. It's a characteristic position for her. She is really pushing now. Halikova slotted in behind her. Can the Young Telnet Fedea riders give us a dramatic finish here in Tabor. It is so, so close. It's almost touching distance. Harris and Halikova, can they catch Katie Compton in the last couple of kilometers here? Through the switchbacks. And it has come right down that gap. But has it come down by enough for them to spring an attack on her in towards the finish? Harris is doing all the work here to close that gap. Havlikova slotting in behind her. She knows, Havlikova, she is going to get her first ever World Cup podium. She knows it is going to be on home territory. What position will it be as they drop down now? If there is a mechanical problem for Compton, these steep little ramps are going to show. It looks to me like she sorted it out though. Compton is so cool and calm and collected, and she's re-established her lead. Katie Compton for the Czech Cyclo-Cross Collective. Out again onto the flat. Harris and Halikova chasing hard. And I think it is still Compton's to lose here. Keeping the gap. One thing a lot of you are saying, and I can tell you it's absolutely right, it is a very grassy course here. It would be carnage with the rain, but the sun and the clement temperatures that we have here have kept the course pretty quick. Not going to see too many punctures either, because not too many wooded sections or too many curbs or anything like that transferring from tarmac to grass. Harris is still trying there. Compton, no, is churning that gear. She's going to turn round onto the tarmac. Harris, I think, might just have the legs on Havlikova. Katie Compton of the Czech Cyclo-Cross Collective will take round 2 of the Cyclo-Cross World Cup and the leader's jersey. Harris is going to hang on for second place. Harris takes second. Havlikova takes third. Her best ever results on home turf. Just 6 seconds in it. Sanakan has been in 4th place for nearly the entire race. Can she hang on? Or is the woman who is in her last ever World Cup, Faria Bruno, going to jump past her? Sanakan is out of the saddle. Can she hang on? Oh, Faria Bruno is coming up. Oh, it's a photo for 4th place. Meredith Miller takes 6th place. Great ride for her. Van Looy is going to take 7th. Chanel Lefebvre takes 8th place. 9th place will go to Antonou. So the US with 3 riders in the top 9. And Tabor coming home for 10th place. Great day for the young talent for Daya team. 3 riders in the top 10. Helen Wyman in 11th place, the European champion. Gabby Duran is going to take 12th for Rafa Focus. Fantastic welcome here for the riders as they come home. And a big smile on the face as well of Martina Miklaskova. She comes in for 13th place, so that's a big improvement on her 20th place from Valkenburg. But the race winner there, going through, escorted through. Katie Compton of the USA for the Czech Cyclo-Cross Collective. Marlène Morel-Petit-Girard comes in for 14th place. 15th for Ali Kemmerer. And that means all 4 US riders in the top 15. Nadia Heigl, the Austrian champion, in 16th. Caroline Mani, riding for Rally Clermont, comes in 17th, just ahead of Medvedova. And Lana Vabern of the Netherlands, riding for the Orange Babies cycling team, in 19th. So some pretty close racing. You see the crowds here, fantastic setting. And here is the woman who really stamped her authority on the World Cup here in Tabor. The US national champion, Katie Compton, riding for the Czech Cyclo-Cross Collective. Got the gap and survived a little bit of a mechanical scare on that closing lap to come home for her first World Cup win of the season and to put herself into the leader's jersey. Big smile on the face of Compton. Here's the confirmation. Compton with the win. Harris in 2nd place. Halikova rounds off the podium in 3rd. Ferrier-Bruno, another 4th place for her. She took the sprint ahead of Sanne Kant, then Meredith Miller, Ellen Van Looy, Lucy Chanel Lefebvre, Caitlin Antonou, and Sophie de Boer. Helen Wyman will be disappointed with that. 11th place, I think, in terms of her tilt towards the overall series. So some great racing. Paula Havlikova, her first ever World Cup podium. And what a place to do it. The Czech national champion delivers the goods here in the Czech Republic. Was delighted to come in there. Nikki Harris, another podium in the World Cup for Slick Nick, comes in for the 2nd place. He just couldn't quite get back up onto the wheel of Compton. Had the gas though to take the sprint to come home. And this woman, bike handling, track speed, all together, the complete package. Katie Compton, the US national champion, wins in the Czech Republic and puts herself into the leader's jersey. So the crowd here bathed in sunshine. We should be able to bring you the some quick interviews there. There's the World Cup standings there. And Compton leads 110 points. Harris in 2nd. Havlikova has moved herself up to 3rd place. Christophe Ferrier-Bruno in 4th. Kant in 5th. Voss in 6th. We're going to see her dropping down though if she doesn't contend other rounds. Wyman 7th. Van Looy 8th. Chanel Lefebvre in 9th. And Miller in 10th. For some unexpected opportunities for sunbathing here in Tabor for the crowds. And the home crowds are going to be pretty pleased because they'll be seeing Pavla Havikova stepping onto the podium in a little while. Quick question coming in from Dan Hennessy down under, and Martin Pina has form and he's on his home course. What are your thoughts? I think Martin could be a dark horse, Dan, and what we've seen as well, obviously, is he has got some good form. Last week showed us that there's a changing of the guard almost, with Van der Gaar taking the win, and we will be looking to see if we see that. I think Pina, don't underestimate the effects of home crowd support though. We've seen that with Halikova, and that really spurred her on. Sue McIntyre, Turquoise Woo, coming in. Is there a replay available? Yes, there is. If you go to the UCI YouTube channel, you'll be able to recap on both races. Not sure exactly when it will be on, but you will be able to catch up. Katie Compton just getting a few tips there on freshening up for the podium. But a fantastic ride from her. The mechanics, not too much work for them to do. Today we didn't see too many bike changes. I think Compton had one bike change round about the halfway point of the race. We thought she was going to have another bike change right at the end, because she seemed, just before she hit the steps, to look down at the gears of the bike, but fortunately she managed to nurse it through, and the mechanic's certainly not going to be doing too much cleaning either. So bear with us, we'll be bringing you the ceremony. Oh, Katie just getting the call there. We'll be bringing you the award ceremony for...
Katie, congratulations to your victory in the World Cup. We spoke together last year in Plzeň, so my first question is, how do you like the Czech tracks?
Oh, I like them a lot. It's actually reminds me of US racing. The courses are similar, the terrain is similar, so it was hard today. It was really hot too, so I definitely struggled out there. I tacked a little early and was able to maintain it, but I definitely was feeling it.
There really wasn't one big moment of yours. I would say that you were able to keep the rhythm and the others weren't able to follow. Would you agree to that your rhythm was the main reason for your today's success?
I think on the downhill I was getting a little bit of time each lap. I was definitely just trying to keep the pressure on the uphills, and they were staying right there, so I had just enough gap to have to kind of stay on the pedals the whole time and not let up, so it was hard.
But you get your revenge because last year you were second here in Tabor, then you won in Plzeň. This year you're first here. What are your ambitions for this year's World Cup?
I want to win the overall again. That's my goal. I want to have strong world championships too, but I definitely like being consistent and being on the podium a lot, so I just want to try to win as many races or get on the podium as I can.
Katie, thank you very much. Congratulations.
So good to hear from Katie Compton there. And interesting now that we hear US-style courses coming in to the parlance. US really is establishing itself as one of the leading nations, certainly in the women's racing. So I think we will be bringing you the presentation. The UCI anthem sounds. Good day for young Telnet Fidea. 2 riders on the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to announce the top 3 riders from the light women category here in Tabor.
And something they didn't expect to be troubled by, a bit of overheating. Now listen to the crowd here. Pavla Havlikova, the Czech national champion for Telnet Fidea, with her first World Cup podium finish. Following on in the wheel tracks of the great Katarina Nash. Havlikova then in 3rd place. 2nd place, equaling her best ever World Cup results and cementing her 2nd place in the standings. The British national champion Nikki Harris shakes hands with her teammate.
Pan inženýr Jiří Fischer, starosta úspěšně pořadatelského vašeho města Tabor.
And as we said, from what was at the start a very, very sad start to the season for the young Telnet Fidea team, starting to come back with some positives now, some great results. But this woman showed why she is the most consistent World Cup racer out there. 2-time World Cup champion, stepping up to the top step here after 2nd place in Valkenburg. The winner in Tabor for the USA and the Czech Cyclo-Cross Collective, Katie Compton.
And the flowers are awarded by Deputy of Regional Council President of South Bohemia Region, Mrs. Ivana Staska.
So in the sunshine of South Bohemia, our podium is complete, and a national anthem of the United States of America. So congratulations to Katie Compton on win #1 in the 2013-2014 UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup, presented by Shimano and Baco. Nikki Harris takes 2nd place, and 3rd place going to Pavla Havlikova. So we take a little break now in terms of the World Cup. And in round about a month's time, we head back to Belgium. Namur will host the next round of the World Cup. So we hope you've enjoyed the coverage here of the women's race at round 2 of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup. Uncharacteristically, sunshine and warm weather here in the Czech Republic, in beautiful southern Bohemia. Tabor delivered fast racing here and a big challenge for the riders, and rising to that challenge, Katie Compton, Nikki Harris and Pavla Havlikova. Compton takes the win and the World Cup lead as we head to Belgium for round 3. We hope you've enjoyed it. Join us for the men's race later on today on the UCI YouTube channel. I'm Dan Jarvis. So welcome to the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup, coming to you from Tabor in South Bohemia. Round 2 of this season's World Cup campaign, and sunglasses are very much the order of the day here. Sunshine bathing the course here in the Czech Republic, and it's been unusually warm. Well, the beautiful city of Tabor is our venue for today. On the slopes of Mount Tabor, and this amazingly beautiful city, dominated by the statue of Jan Žižka in Žižka Square, one of the great Bohemian heroes. If you're wondering, Bohemia, that's down towards the south of the Czech Republic, down towards the Austrian border. You can see very picturesque setting for us at round 2. Žižka was an undefeated general. Can we see Lars van der Gaart also remain undefeated this year? Looking back at previous winners there, Kevin Pauwels, back-to-back wins. Zdeněk Štěpán back in 2010, and he now is carving out a very successful career on the road. So it's going to fall probably to Martin Bina to lead the home challenge. Here's the standings after round 1 in Valkenburg. Lars van der Gaart with his first ever win on home territory. The young Dutchman taking the lead from Kevin Pauwels. Philipp Walsleben, the German champion, with his first World Cup podium in 3rd. And a man that you won't see there in those standings, and we expected to see, the man with number 1 on his back, the world champion Sven Nys, just had a catalogue of bad luck. Hopefully it's not going to continue here, and you can see very different conditions to last week in the Netherlands. Here it's sunny, 17 degrees we're pushing up towards, which is not bad for the end of October. Here's the course. Fast start on the tarmac. Lots and lots and lots of grass. That's what we're basically talking about here. Very fast. And a couple of technical sections. We've got some hurdles. We've got a big flight of steps. But really, this course can be summed up in one word, and that is grass. Very fast surface. Well, the World Cup leader made a little bit of history as you look down there. First World Cup win on disc brakes, running the new Shimano disc brakes. There's a man who needs a serious amount of good luck compared to last week. Sven Nys, he punctured just as he got to the leaders. Then he snapped his chain, and it just wasn't his day. By contrast, it was a good day for BKCP team, including Philipp Walsleben taking his first ever finish. Don't forget, if you've got any questions or comments, send us a tweet at World Cup Dan is the Twitter name you need to use, and we're looking as well for your top 3 predictions. Richard J. Bennett has gone out on a limb here. Sven Nys, Kevin Pauwels, Martin Bina, that's his top 3. We'll see how good a pundit you are, Richard.
From Slovakia with number 52, number 40, Oleg Klas from Germany, number 41, and the German rider Yannick Meyer.
So the pits starting to fill up, the mechanics getting in position. Didn't see too much action in the women's race earlier today. A couple of bike changes, but really the conditions here are pretty good. Not too much mud about, very fast running. Not too many places either to pick up punctures, so it may well be relatively boring day in the pits for them. Just going through the field there, you can see, just to remind you, the start list in national team order, not in start order, and the Czech team. Radomir Simonek will lead them, but Martin Bina for the Quattro Stana team is the one that a lot of us are looking towards to produce something special here. They've already had a great home performance in the form of Pala Havlikova. Just going through there, one Spaniard, Egoy Morgato, one Brit in the form of Ian Field. Slovakia with a pretty big team. Marius Gill, Kenneth Hansen, Joachim Parvo, Magnus Darvel also in there. So let's just take you across the front row here. Philip Valsleben, fantastic ride for Philip to give him his first World Cup podium last week in Valkenburg, the German national champion. Alongside him, his teammate, the former world champion, Niels Albert. Got the rainbow bands on his jersey there, you can see. The Belgian champion, which is always a hard-won title, Klaas van Tornaar, riding for the Sunweb Napoleon Games team. Alongside him, the world champion, arguably the greatest cyclocross rider of the modern era, Sven Nys of the Creelan KDL team. Lars van der Gaar in the white jersey of World Cup leader rather than his Dutch national champions jersey. Kevin Pauws, second in Valkenburg for the Sunweb Napoleon Games team. Francis Moret was looking very good in Valkenburg until he had some mechanical problems. The French national champion, and Bart Ernots for AA Drink. Trying to psych himself up now on the start line. 1 minute to the race start then. We are going to see the charge for that first right-hand corner on the tarmac to start with. It is a very, very quick course here. So Sven Nys on course to maybe get a bit of luck back in his corner after last week. Rob Kingsland, he is going for Niels Albert. And a big thank to Jakob, JCBK, just picking me up on my nice, not niece. Here we go then. The big charge along the straight, and it is Sven Nys who is well up there. But Moret has got a good start as well. Winner of the Trobro Lyon, previously on the roads for the FDJ team. And the French national champion has got a great start. So too, coming out there, looks like Albert has slotted himself in there nicely. Van der Gaar is up there too, as is Valsleben. And we saw Murray start well last week. Will he be able to maintain it? Looks like Binder has got himself up there into 5th place. Martin Binder. Well placed. And Sven Nys is just slotting in there, early days. But you can see already just running much quicker under the tyres than it was last week. Fantastic venue here on the outskirts of Tabor in this beautiful open parkland. Just saw the stars and bars going through of the US champion, Jonathan Page. Oh, getting a little bit of air there, 1 or 2 riders. That's going to get the crowd going. Oh, styling up, coming through. Just shows you that cyclocross is becoming the rock and roll of cycle racing. Moray then leading into the steps. Van der Haar well up there in 3rd place. Valsleven in 4th place. Moving up well then, the Czech rider who has been tipped by a few riders, a few fans out there and riders I've been talking to for some good form. Just looking back here, look at the style for miles coming through there. That's Arnaud Joffre of the Telnet Fidea team. If you can't get your sponsor noticed on the podium, you can always do it on the telly. Here they go through, just looking to see if any riders with an early technical problem possibly. It looks at the moment like everyone running pretty smoothly. And into the hurdles, it is the French national champion leading them through here. Francis Moret. And rider bunny hop in there coming through there. Tom Mason, the only one so far I think who's bunny hopped the hurdles, moved up a couple of places as a result. It is risky because they are actually some of the higher hurdles that we've had because of the way the track is underneath them. And Moret just setting that tempo. Albert looks pretty comfortable, slotted into 2nd place. Pout is up there as well. The Belgians all well up there, 9 riders from Belgium. And I think we've got probably about 5 or 6 of them in this top 10 at the moment. Just moving up well there, Julien Tramacar, the Swiss champion for BMC mountain bike racing team. He had some bad luck at round 1 as well. Ended up finishing 23rd after quite a strong start. Just looking to see where Nice may be. There he is, just going through. Sven Nys is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 7th place or thereabouts. Pretty much consistent pace being set here by Murray. No sudden accelerations as yet. So is the Frenchman leading them through. Vina is up to 3rd place. Van der Haar, the World Cup leader, in 4th. And he's got all the men that he needs to, Van der Haar, behind him, because the 3 guys ahead of him, well, Moret didn't finish because of mechanical problems. Bina didn't finish in the points, and Niels Tabor only finished in 11th place in Valkenburg. So at the moment, Van der Haar is defending that jersey quite comfortably because he's ahead of his closest challengers. Valsleben is into 5th place now, the German champion. And you can just see how high tempo it is. The riders all strung out. Martin Bina for the Quattro Stana team. Slotting himself into 3rd place. They want to get, the Czech riders desperately want to get on the podium here. Their one opportunity. Reminder that in terms of the following rounds, we had 3 in Belgium, 1 in Italy, 1 in France. Moret then leads through from Albert. Marius Gill as well has moved up well. The Polish rider for Quattro Stana, teammate of Bina, and he has got himself well positioned here. So we'll have a chance. All kind of bunching up a little bit on the tarmac. Chance for somebody else to take on the pace as they come through. Van der Haar, though, is right up there, the World Cup leader. Some hard turns to try and close up gaps there. Enrico Franzoi for Selle Italia is got himself around about the top 10. Page has done well there. He's got Field on his wheel as well. Well, nearly the entire field covered by about 30 seconds. So just an indication of how quick this racing is here. And it's Van der Haar who's moved to the front, the World Cup champion, World Cup leader, the Dutch national champion. Moved himself to the front now. Albert sliding onto his wheel. Van Torna is there as well. And I think there might have just been a little injection of pace here by the young Dutchman. In fact, it's Valsleben who's gone, slotted into 2nd place. Then comes Klaas Van Torna, the Belgian champion. Then comes Bina. And it looks as well as if Julien Taramaka has moved himself up there as well. Yeah, there he is, the Swiss champion. One or 2 riders happy to launch it over this big humpback, and they will certainly get the crowd. That was not such a good style up there. Once again, Arnaud Joffre giving the crowd something to cheer as he comes through up the stairs, and our early pace setter Francis Moret just dropping back slightly, still very much there or thereabouts though. Sven Nys is still well positioned. There he is again. Arnaud Joffre looks like he's enjoying himself here. Kevin Powles is a little bit off the front of the the lead group there. Just looking to see where he might have dropped down to. Just down behind Moret. So Valsleben and Van der Haar are Bina bunny hopping his way up into third place. Took the right-hand line and moved up a little bit less tidy from Tom Muysen, but he still also managed to move up there. Here we are then, Valsleben on the front, the German national champion. The new guard of World Cup cyclocross racing coming through here. Klaas Van Turner just getting rid of those glasses in the pits. One of the things came out of the women's race earlier today, an unexpected problem, was that actually it's quite warm, 17 degrees, which is not what you expect for cyclocross. Just had a fantastic summing up of cyclocross on our Twitter feed. Jake Lewis, World Cup cross is like watching road race without the dull bits. Absolutely. It is non-stop racing here, right from the gun to the finish. Valsleben and Van der Haar then moving a little bit clear now. Bina in third place, then Van Turner in fourth. And a couple of little gaps just starting to appear. It's not much, but if you can't get onto that back wheel, they can manage to get further and further and further away. Going down into the little gully here. Jumping in and out of the gully. Radomir Simonek going through there as well. Number 10 in the world, highest ranked rider in the Czech team. But in terms of this race, he's having to give second best to Martin Bina, his teammate on the Quadro Stana team. And Bina is there in third place, leading the chase through. Taramaka, the Swiss champion, is well placed there as well in seventh place. So Valsleben and Van der Haar, the number 2 and number 1 in the world, number 3 and number 1 in the World Cup standings at the moment, leading them through. Just looking for the man who's second in Valkenburg. There he is, going through there. Kevin Pauls. And these two, the two young guns, are starting to pull clear. Just seeing who that is. Simonek it was, coming into the pits. Just looking to see. Got his replacement bike, but he has dropped right down the field because of that Joachim Parbo of Denmark just coming through ahead of him. 7 laps left to go. Around about 49, 50 minutes of racing then. And it's 6 seconds the gap. Back to the chase has been Alvarez in then. Nice is in there too. Van Kessel and Van Amerongen riding well. So too Wildhaber and Zana. Zana was a little bit of a revelation in terms of his early season form. Oh, going down heavily there. Little bit of a pile up on that corner. Twan Van der Brand, just see, it's that corner, just catching a few riders up. Also going down was Kenneth Hansen, the Danish national champion for the Cannondale Haderslev team. Maybe just a little bit of moisture still on some of the corners. It could also be if the riders are running a less aggressive tread, more of a dry tyre, and then they hit somewhere that's just in a bit of shade, still got a little bit of moisture there, the grip will go. And I think it's safe to say these two have gone for it, and the gap is growing here. They're going to have the whole of this this straight with the camel hump on it, and it's actually Julien Taramaka coming up here, a Swiss champion for BMC. He is leading the chase. The two race leaders then. Van der Haar, just 22 years of age. Valsleben will turn 26 just before round 3 in Namur. And both with under 23 World Cup. Oh! Going down there, that is Kevin Pauls, the man who was second in Valkenburg, and he goes down. Just gotta hope that your bike doesn't get run over by any of the guys behind. Also, just none of those nasty little sprains or strains where you try to counterbalance yourself. Very nearly caught Corner Van Kessel as well. Van Kessel having to stick his leg out as a outrigger to balance himself as he came through there. I think if this race and round 1 in Valkenburg has showed us anything, it's we are not going to be able to predict anything in the 2013-14 UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup, presented by Shimano and Beko. This is the chase, so the lead riders 17 seconds ahead. Been a body hop in there, nearly got caught out. Sven Nice coming through there as well, and buddy hopping his way up through the chasers. Now it starts to thin out. It does get a little bit easier. Chance for the two leaders to have a little look across. Van der Haar looks over his shoulder to see where Valsleben is, and the gap is growing. They are going to be out of sight soon, and if you're out of sight, you're out of mind, and it comes then down to all of these guys are just racing for 3rd place. Vina is in 3rd, but he doesn't want it to go too soon because he knows the others will be queuing up behind to pick him off. Little slip out there for Valsleben. You can see the grass is a little bit slippy if you're off that race line. Taramaka is leading up the chasers back onto the wheel of Bina, still in there as well as Vantuna. Moret is still up there. Nice is still up there as well. Well, it's queuing up behind for the potential contenders for, well, it's 3rd place at the moment, because it's not looking like they're making any kind of inroads into the lead of Van der Haar and Valsleben. And I suspect this gap is going to grow with every pedal stroke at the moment, unless someone decides to come up and share some pace with Bina, because he is not going to be prepared to tow somebody else up to a podium finish on his home World Cup. Still a lot of riders in there, a lot of contenders up in that lead group. Lars van der Haar and Valsleben. Determined look on van der Haar's face as he leads them through out of the little gully section. Warm applause from the crowd here in Tabor. They know they are seeing some great racing here. Now that is the corner which is catching a lot of riders out. Not sure if there is just a slippy section on here. Here he comes. Here comes Bina, just looking to see. And it might just be, if you get off that racing line slightly, it's just a slippy section of grass. Oh, and another little problem there for Pauls. So maybe it's the tyre choice of Pauls not quite working for him on that one section. The clock is ticking then, 6 laps to go. The pace, I think, has been picked up by those two. And this is, in cyclocross terms, a big, big gap this early in the race. They're all looking around to see who's going to take up the pace. So Amakar is looking across. Ernods it is who takes up the pace. Bantona Albert's up there, moving up as well. Egoe Morgoito from Spain. Keep your predictions coming on those positions. De Luca, that's one of our Aussie followers, I think, tipping Bina, and Nice seeing if they can get across that gap. He thinks they're riding a waiting game at the moment. This chase group is round about 10 riders, might just be about to grow to around about 12 riders. But you can see, just going over the first of the camel humps, right at the top of the screen there, the two race leaders, the gap is getting bigger and bigger. Bina just on the front here with Ernods on his back wheel. Then comes Taramaka, then it's Vantona, then comes Albert Murray, Nice, Pauls. It's a very good ride here as well from the only Spaniard in the race, Egoe Morgoito. He was 14th in Valkenburg, and rider for Grupo Iromet Tardea in that group. Bina leads the chasers then up the staircase. Still, I think all of the people we would expect to see are in there. Look like Enrico Franzoi, the Italian, had got himself up to that chase group as well. And Anna's coming through now. We haven't seen too many other people willing to take up the pace. Bina seems to have been doing an awful lot of the riding on the front. Both riders coming into the pits here. Valsleben and Van der Haar. Valsleben just taking a drink Van der Haar swapping to a new bike. Into the hurdles, both opting to run the bike through there. And if you look carefully, you'll see it isn't just the riders that are marking a change at the front of racing, because Van der Haar running disc brakes. One of the few in the men's race. Bina again riding the hurdles, again moving himself back up. Sven Nys also riding the hurdles. Good riding as well from Bosmans to move himself up there. Martin Harding, the Slovakian champion. 22nd in Netherlands. He will be looking to get a top 20 finish for certain here. Now Sven Nys is already faring much better here than he did last week. A front puncture just as he made contact with the leaders, then a snap chain meant that he didn't finish. And the world champion will be looking to get that monkey off of his back from last week. But that just gives you an indication of how well these two young riders are working at the front of the race. Looks like starting to have some movement behind as riders moving through to take up the pace. Could actually be Paus moving through here, I think, into third spots. One or two riders struggling to stay on the wheels. It's Valsleben leading them through the gully then. And that is the chase group, so they've almost got the whole of the gully section in hand. In fact, they have got the whole of the gully section in hand over the chasers. And we're starting to see some moves coming now. Paus has made a move up towards the front. Looking to see if they can start to shed some of those contenders. Valsleben on the front, trying to set this pace. Oh, Van der Haar goes down. Van der Haar goes down and the bike slips out under the netting and it's got caught up in the netting. Oh, what drama. It's the same corner that has claimed so many other riders. And Lars Van der Haar, the World Cup leader, slips out. Looks like Sven Nys. Sven Nys has gone down as well. He has. The bad luck of the world champion continues. Well, Philip Valsleben is on his own now. A similar thing happened in Valkenburg when Van der Haar was with this man, Kevin Paus. Paus unshipped his chain and Van der Haar went for it. Wow, drama is going to continue here because Sven Nys has gone down as well. He's going to have to jump. I think he's going to wait maybe take her place in this train behind. But down now to 14th place. Sven Nys is just such bad luck. There he goes, going down. Didn't collect anyone else, but that looked like a pretty bad one. Went down on his side. There's Van der Haar, went down. And the big problem came here. He just got caught. It was on the, actually the TV cable on his cranks there. Wow. Valsleben, if he doesn't take this opportunity, the man from Potsdam, I don't think is ever going to have a better chance. Van der Haar is chasing. But both these men have been under 23 world champions. Valsleben back in 2009. Had a good season this year, as well as taking the German championship. He's ridden well on the road as well, winning the Baltic Chain Tour, third in the Tour of Alsace. Kevin Pauls in third, and then comes the chasing pack, thinned out slightly. Pauls had his own share of bad luck in Valkenburg when he unshipped his chain right at the crucial point, really, of the race. So in our top three, we've got 3 under 23 world champions. Pauls back in 2004. Pauls the former World Cup champion. He's a winner, remember, here in Tabor. Knows what it takes to win here in the Czech Republic. Valsleben picked up his first senior World Cup podium in Valkenburg. Van der Haar chasing in second place. Pauls in third, and now he has the World Cup leader in his sights. And now come the rest of the chasers, and it's Niels Albert leading them through. Van Thorner's up there, Moret's up there. Bina picking his way through as well. Taramaka is still up there too. Sven Nys is about to be picked up, I think, by the chasing group behind, which is headed by Simon Zana from Switzerland and Niels Woven of the Netherlands. Such a quick pace here being set. If you make a mistake, it's going to be so hard to close up. There's the bunny hop in. Fernandez has just a little grimace coming off there. Well, Philip Valsleben has got probably about 30 or so meters over Van der Haar. Van der Haar can close that gap, but how much energy will he expend doing so? And there are the chasers, and it looks like to me like it's coming back together in the chase for third place. In fact, Pauls has been caught there by Albert, Van Turner and Murray. Van der Haar, two-time under-23 world champion, third in the World Championships this year in 2013. Gonna need to call on that medal to be able to close the gap. Just as recently signed for the Argos Shimano development team. Could see him in a bit more action on the road then. And these are the four riders contending third place at the moment. Can the others get across to them? Bina in that group. Got a question coming from Crew Cyclo-Cross about the tyre choice, whether they're running file treads or intermediates. I think, judging by this, I think we're seeing a mix, to be honest, because the conditions, although it is pretty dry, there's some pretty slippy sections out there, so it's really crucial to get a choice. Look at this! Van der Haar has come right back onto the back wheel of Valsleben with 4 laps to go. Van der Haar with an epic effort to get across the gap there, and it'll be interesting to see how much that has cost him. Now these guys are looking to see, looks to me like Albert is saying, come on, somebody else take the pace. Nobody else seems to be that bothered, and it means that the gap is growing. And it may also allow the chasers to come across here, which includes Bina, Van Kessel, leading those three through, Ernst on the back. So Valsleben and Van der Haar. Van der Haar, I think, has earned himself a little bit of time on the back wheel of Valsleben for coming across that gap. Looking back, another faller on that corner. Oh, very nearly got his hand run over as well. Did Bosmans. It does seem to be just that one corner is catching people out. Van der Haar then buzzing the back wheel. You can see again, if you look at the top of the screen, there are the two leaders just about to go over second of the big humps there. And the chasers are behind, and it's Mouret now, the French champion, who has got a little bit of a gap in terms of the pursuit. To be honest, when they went under the arch, the three Belgians all seemed to be looking at each other as to who was going to take up the chase. And maybe Mouret has just thought, well, if we do this, everyone behind is going to catch us. We've got no chance of winning. I've got to go. Valsleben then leads up the stairs. Next time round, they will have 3 laps to go, remember. Mouret dropped out after a very strong early showing in round 1. He ended up non-finisher. Albert was 11th. Pauls, of course, was 2nd. But the French champion for the FDJ team has got himself a little bit of a gap over the 3 Belgians Again, a little slip maybe coming out of that corner for Valsleben, so it's just on those corners, which does suggest they are running far down tyres. Because where the racing line is worn down, it is very quick. You can see not too many places where there's soft mud. Oh, little slip of the pedal there for Van der Haar, nothing too much to worry about. And Moret has got himself clear now in third place. Opts to run the hurdles. Look to see if anyone's going to bunny hop them behind. No, they're all there.
So bionic situation right now in the sixth lap because
and Van der Haar now moving to the front. He's had his little rest after closing the gap. Drama on the last lap. Remember when he crashed? Moret in no man's land in third position. Then comes the trio of Belgian chasers. Just got a feedback from Bruce Dalton. Sven Nys is running intermediate tyres. And he's asked we give a shout to Ian Field. Ian Field, the British champion, after a great ride in Valkenburg, looking to go with a strong ride again. Haven't seen his jersey going through, but that doesn't mean he's not having a good ride. It just, we've been focusing on these lead groups. Van Turner has picked up the pace now in pursuit of Moret. Moret trying to close the gap on Valsleben and Van der Haar. Van Turner, Pauls and Albert chasing through there. Bina giving chase as well in that group with 7th, 8th and 9th place air notes in there too. And corner of Van Kessel. Then comes the quartet, which includes Taramaka, the Swiss champion. So Sven Nys has dropped back out of the top 10 after that crash. And Van der Haar and Valsleben keeping the speed high here through the switchbacks. As Moret is trying to close the gap, you can just see them heading off on that long descent. This is one of those corners which has looked like it's getting a little slippy. A little bit of a rut coming into it. And this is another chance for Van der Haar to get on the attack. This is the corner where he came down and through safely that time, both of them. Does just look to me as if you get off the racing line slightly. That's where the problem comes. Bina heading the home challenge, but he's got some work to do. Currently in 8th place behind Van Kessel. It's going to be 3 laps to go then for the race leaders as they come through. Valsleben and Van der Haar. Moret chasing hard here. The French national champion. Winner of the Trober-Léon semi-classic. Albert's just having a little stretch of the back, says to Pauls, come on, your turn to come through and take the pace. That is 4th, 5th and 6th place with Van Turnert in there as well. Then comes Van Kessel in 7th, Pienaar in 8th, Ernst in 9th place. Oh, there's a problem there. There's a problem for Moret. Oh, he's got a mechanical problem. I think the chain is unshipped. It has. Oh, such bad luck for the 2nd World Cup in a row for Moret. Unshipped the chain. Crashed nearly. Crashed again when remounting. And the 3 Belgians have caught him. And actually, it's all coming back together with 7 riders in contention now for 3rd place. Ian Field going through just ahead of Sven Nys, 20th and 21st place there. And that is played into the hands once again, I think, of Van der Haar and Valsleben, because now with 7 riders in there, it's all going to get very cagey once again for these riders looking for 3rd place. And it's Pauls on the front, tracked by Albert, then Van Turnert, then comes Moret. Then a little gap back to Van Kessel, then Pienaar, then Ernst. Real bad luck there for Moret. As up the staircase go our 2 leaders. They seem to be sharing the tempo pretty well here. Pauls leads the chasers through. Albert, Van Turnert, Moret. Then comes Van Kessel, Pienaar, and Ernst. And I think it's looking at the moment like these 4 are the contenders for the 3rd spot on the podium. Just looking across, and that gap is pretty comfortable for Valsleben and Van der Haar, but we've seen already in this race, nothing is nailed on. Don't forget, if you missed the women's race, you can watch catch up on the UCI YouTube channel. The win going to Katie Compton of the USA, ahead of Nikki Harris of Great Britain, and then Paula Havlikova of the Czech Republic. In the men's now, it's Valsleben and Van der Haar leading through. Pauls in 3rd place here, the head of this chase group. Pienaar bunny hopping over the hurdles, trying to get himself back up onto the back wheel of Albert. Looks to me like Van Kessel is struggling slightly as Ernst grits his teeth and tries to go with Pienaar. These 2 look so comfortable though, out at the front. Lars Van der Haar and Philip Valsleben. The Dutchman and the German, both champions of their respective countries, both on the podium at round 1. Van der Haar, the winner, his 1st ever Senior World Cup win. Valsleben with his 1st ever Senior World Cup podium. And the man who was 2nd there, splitting them in Valkenburg, Kevin Pauls, is in this group here, the 2nd man in the row. The rider for the Sunweb Napoleon Games team, right on the wheel of his teammate, the Belgian champion, Van Turnert. And Pienaar's got himself back up into this group. just behind Albert Moret. So Moret has managed to get himself back up to the front of the group, the man who was clear in third place and then had those problems. Looks like Franzoy is leading through the chasers behind with the Spaniard on his wheel there. That is Morgoitia. Taramaka, the Swiss champion, just starting to be distanced there. And there's a big, big chase group coming through. That's going to be round about the teens and the top 20 coming through. Just looking to see if Sven Nys is in there. Sven Nys is at the back of that group. So he is in there. But they are some way behind the two leaders. There are the leaders heading back down along this straight. Van der Haar just having a little look down at the bike. Don't know if he thinks he's got a problem. Valsleben sticking to him like glue here as they come through. They're heading down towards that slick right-hander, which is claimed lots of riders so far, including Van der Haar earlier on. Looks like he's safe though. When he's got the racing line, it's nice and safe. Moret having to do it all again after crashing out, unshipping his chain when he was clear in third. He's back in third, but now he has a lot of riders in contention with him. Van Kessel just hanging on to the back of that group. The Dutchman for the Telnet Verdea team. 2 laps to go, little flick of the elbow for Van der Haar, saying, come on, come through. Take the pace when we're on the tarmac. And Valsleben just says, no thanks, and sits in on the back wheel. Moret then leading through, Van Turner, then comes Pauls, Albert, Bina, Ernst, and Van Kessel. And the gap is going to be around about 34, 35 seconds, I think, as they come through. 34 seconds. Bina just having a little word there. It looked like... Here's the chase then. 10th place at the moment, occupied by Egoy Morgoitia, the Spaniard. Nys is chasing now. Taramaka coming through in 13th place. Franzoy and Van Amerongen were with the Spaniard. Haring, the Slovakian champion, is in 14th place. Then comes a big chase group, head by Tisao here. In that group was Ian Field, also Mickey Van Empel. Just on the back is Sven Nys, and I think Sven Nys is just being distanced maybe off the back of that group.
Two-time world champion and 6-time winner of the overall classification of World Cup, Sven Nys.
He's won this competition 6 times, but this season has already not been going his way in terms of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cups, because Sven Nys, although he's had some good results, hasn't had the luck. Mechanicals in round 1, crashing here in round 2. These two, though, seem to be making their own luck in this race. Looks like Van der Haar's had a little dig there just to try and shed Valsleben, and the German working hard to come back to him. Comes back up onto the wheel of the Dutchman. Moret setting the pace of the chasers. The French national champion leading them through. Then comes Vantoorne, then Bina, then Albert, Ernutz, Paus, and Van Kessel. Moret just has another little dig, trying to get himself clear of the others. Bina, so determined to get a podium finish here in his home World Cup. Van der Haar into the pits, changes the bike. Valsleben moves ahead there. Into the hurdles. Again, both opting to dismount. And it looks like Moret has managed to get a little bit of a gap here. Only Vantoorne has managed to go with it. Bina trying to close in there, the Czech rider.
With slight disadvantage on these two riders, along with Kevin Paulus.
Paulus fixed on his wheel. Paulus trying to draw on that experience of being a previous winner here in Tabor, but he's got a lot to do here if he's going to make it a third win. Bina, one of the few riders who's bunny hopping the hurdles, and again just moves up slightly, maybe takes a half a bike length back on Vantoorne. This is the battle for third place then. Moret and Vantoorne. Then about 10 meters back comes Paulus and Bina. And I think the Quadro Stana rider, Martin Bina, is going to have to make a move soon. Coming up to a couple of laps to go. It's a big ask, and I think that gap is just holding. Moret not able to make too many inroads into the lead then of Van der Haar and Valsleben. And Paulus is managing to come back up to the wheel of Vantoorne here, I think. Bina just struggling to stay with him. I think there was a little stretch at the back there, possibly, for Van der Haar. Just trying to keep himself as loose as possible for these closing stages. Valsleben leads them through. Moret so unlucky to lose that advantage that he had over the chasers when he was in third place all on his own. To come back together, but he's really trying to ride these guys off his wheel now. The Frenchman, very, very strong rider. Bina, I think, is out of contention for that third place. But Moret been a world's medalist. As I said, he won the Trobro Leon semi-classic this season. Rides for FDJ, the French lottery team. Valsleben through the pits, and he just lost a little bit of time here on Van der Haar. 1 lap to go, and Van der Haar is going for it here. He's got a little bit of a gap over the German, 3 seconds. 2 seconds is the gap, and I think he's going to let him come back up. Just going to see, it was the pits. It was when he came into the pits and Van der Haar attacked to see if he could get the gap. And Valsleben just did enough to close in. I think Van der Haar just sat up to give himself a chance to go again. Murray, Van Toornik, Pauls in contention for 3rd place. Then comes Albert, Bina and Ernst. Van Kessel just distanced slightly. So into the last lap, just about 6 minutes of racing to go. Francois has moved up to 10th place now, the Italian.
32 seconds on Lars van der Haar.
And again, one of the sub-notes we're going to be having about this race is going to be the bad luck experienced by Sven Nys. Interesting point coming in on Twitter. Remember, you got any observations, it's at World Cup Dan. Steve Pauly coming in. He wonders if Sven might have injured himself on that crash, and that would be borne out if he's struggling to stay with that group. He did seem to go down more heavily than some of the others, and cyclo-cross is pretty unforgiving. It's so fast. If you knock a bit of wind out of yourself, you have got no chance of sitting in and getting your breath back. It's not like road racing where you can pace yourself back up for 20 kilometers or so and the peloton just sits in and everyone rides to the finish. It is non-stop action cyclo-cross. Van der Haar and Valsleben still clear. Moret, Van Toornik and Pauls are the men battling for 3rd place here with about half a lap to go. Bina is distanced now for the fight for the placings. Valsleben comes to the front and into the pits. Neither of them needing a bike change here. Valsleben leading them through. Van der Haar though is fixed onto his back wheel. Then comes Moret, Van Toornik and Pauls through the hurdles, both through safely. And Moret is charging now. Now that gap has come down. I think it's safe to say.
We can remind again that the best result for Philippe Valsleben in last year World Cup was 11th place in Solder here in Tabor 1 year ago. He was 22nd, but today he's...
Simon Johnson, interesting point from Simon coming in on Twitter. Thinks that Sven might be saving his energy now for the Super Prestige tomorrow. Yeah, could be, mate. These two are definitely not saving anything up because we're in towards closing stages, last couple of minutes of racing. Valsleven gritting his teeth, he's trying to shed Van der Haar to get his first ever senior World Cup title. Moret has managed to get rid of Van Toorn. Can he get rid of Pauws now? The Frenchman really deserves a podium finish in terms of the grit and determination he's put in. But look at that, look how much the gap has come down over this last lap. Well, we've got a bit of a gap until the next round of the Cyclo-Cross World Cup. Round 3 is going to be on the dunes of Koksijde in November. Then another month off and we go to Namur. And following straight on from that is Oostenzolder on the 26th. So hopefully nobody's overindulged on the Christmas pudding on the run into that. Rome in the first week of 2014, and then Nome is the final round in France. So still a long way to go in terms of the overall. Not far to go now in terms of this race. These two are still locked together. Philip Valsleven, Lars van der Haar. Francis Moret is coming through there in third place. They have closed right up. But I think it's too late to catch these two. It is going to be too late, surely, barring a problem on that slippy corner. And Kevin Pauws has moved through there. So are we going to see a repeat of the podium from Valkenburg? Just different order. Oh, interesting. Looks to me like Van der Haar tried to take a different line to give himself a different run through. It is going to be a sprint finish here, and I think they're pretty evenly matched in terms of sprinting ability. Pauws looks like he's got himself clear for third place. Valsleven's going to lead out the sprint, and Van der Haar just on his shoulder up towards the line. Valsleven has got this, or has he? Here comes Van der Haar. Van der Haar coming through. Van der Haar! Oh! Back-to-back wins for the Flying Dutchman. Lars Van der Haar comes through ahead of Valsleven. Pauws takes third. Moret takes fourth. Van Toorn's going to take fifth place. Albert takes sixth. Ernst takes seventh. Pina salutes his home crowd for eighth place. Ninth place is going to go to Corne van Kessel. And there's a sprint here for 10th place coming in. Who is going to take it? Is Franzoy going to hold on? It's going to be a photo, I think, for 10th place between Franzoy and Van Amerongen. Then comes the Spaniard, Margoitio. 12th place for him. Wow. Doesn't get much closer in terms of finish there. Haring, the Slovakian champion, in for 13th. Big punch finish there. Al, Verben, Peters and Zana in a photo finish. Ian Field, he's going to take another top 20 finish. 18th place for Fieldy. That's a great result from the young British champion. Mickey van Empel into the straight. Julian Taramaka showed himself right at the front early on, but dropped down to finish 19th place. 20th place for Mickey van Empel. '21st place will go to Bosmans.
Geweldig, geweldig.
Here's the finish then. Valsleben gave it absolutely everything, but maybe we're seeing why the Argos Shimano team have signed this man on for their development squad on the road, because Van der Haar just came around him to take the sprint and make it 2 out of 2 so far in this season's UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup. There you go, the top 10 coming in then. Van der Haar and Valsleben taking it right to the wire. Paus, Pippin Murray for 3rd place. Van Turner, Albert, Ernst, Vina, Van Kessel and Franzoy. So same riders on the podium as Valkenburg, different order though. Van Amergen, Mauricio, then Haring, Al, Wubben, Peters, Zana, Field, Taramaka and Van Empel rounding out the top 20. Oh, it's disappointment on the face of Philip Valsleben. Had a chance in the closing stages when Van der Haar slipped out and crashed, but somehow the Dutchman got back, closed the gap, got back to the wheel. 3rd place then goes to Kevin Paus, another man who crashed out, managed to pick himself up, dust himself off, and used that class as a 2-time winner here in Tabor to get himself up for the podium finish. A 2nd World Cup podium for Philip Valsleben. It was 3rd in Valkenburg, 2nd here. Does that mean Coxsider is going to be his day? We'll see. And just pipped by this man, Lars Van der Haar. Crashed out. Could have been a really bad crash because the bike got caught up on the netting as well, but he didn't panic, rode himself up to Valsleben's back wheel and then unleashed the sprint to give him 2 wins in a row and increase his lead in the standings. Sven Nies's fan club still looking for something to celebrate on the 2013-14 UCI World Cup stage. Here are the standings now. Van der Haar, perfect score, 160 points. Valsleben and Paus equal, both with a 2nd and 3rd place. Van Turner 3rd, Ernst, Albert, Van Amergen up there to 7th now. Good position as well for the Spaniard. Mauricio, he's up to 10th place in the standings. So hopefully we're going to be hearing from our race winner very shortly. As you hear this big crowd here in Tabor, fueled no doubt by this amazing weather we've had, sunshine and 17 degrees right at the end of October. And they're cheering every rider home. So I think we're going to be hearing from our race winner, Lars Van der Haar, very shortly. So another chance to just quickly remind you, round 3 of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup will be on the 23rd of November. Coming to you from the sand dunes of Cutsider. That is going to be an epic, once again, some of the biggest crowds you'll ever see at a cyclocross race. Certainly one of the loudest. And a chance to see maybe if Sven Nys can start to get his World Cup season back on track. You'll be able to see all of the action on the UCI YouTube channel, live racing there, and also your chance to catch up on the action from here in Tabor if you've missed any of the racing or you want to see that amazing sprint finish again. But you should, as everyone starts to congregate around the podium, you should be able to hear very shortly from Lars van der Haar. Another chance just to remind you of winners in the other races. The junior men, that was won by Adam Tupelik of the Czech Republic, and Mathieu van der Poel won the under-23 men's race.
Lars, 2 World Cups, 2 victories. How does it sound and how can you explain that?
It sounds unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I worked to this 2 weeks and I thought that Sunday was my best day in my life, and today was just again really good, and yeah, we could stay away. I had a problem with my behind derailleur. The cable was loose. I looked at it, but then I forgot to turn correctly, so I crashed. And then it was 8 seconds to close, and I thought, oh no. But I came back, and then it was just together till the sprint.
How hard was it to chase back Philip Valsleben?
Crazy hard. I knew Philip was really, really good, and I knew if I keep the gas full open, I had a chance of coming back because he was tired as well, and yeah, I had no other option. I had to try.
How did you enjoy Czech audience, Czech fans, and the Czech track here in Tabor?
Really, really good. They were so nice as well for me. I heard my name constantly, and I liked it very much. Also before the race, they want my autograph and with me on the picture. It's amazing.
And last question, did you believe you were stronger in the finish?
Against Philip, I've never sprinted against Philip, and he has 1 sprint on the road. But I knew if I could come out of the corner correctly, I had a really good shot of winning. But you never know against such a strong rider as Philip. But now I know.
Okay, Lars, thank you very much. Congratulations.
So there you go, Lars van der Haar taking 2 wins in very different situations. A lone finish in round 1, sprint finish in round 2, and as he said, Valsleben, a points jersey winner in some of the minor stage races, so not a bad finish from the young Dutchman. Getting ready then for the podium presentation for round 2 of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup. brought to you by Shimano and Biko.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to announce the award ceremony for the top 3 riders for the men alike category here in Tabor for the second leg of UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup 2013-2014.
So UCI anthem playing, it means we're going to be getting these guys out onto the podium. And as we've mentioned, it's the same riders as round 1, but different order. So it wasn't going to be a third win in Tabor for this man. But the Sunweb Napoleon Games rider, Kevin Powles, he takes 3rd place.
Flowers are awarded by representative of Škoda Auto Company, Mr. Pavel Toman.
The Czech crowd here, as Lars mentioned, very knowledgeable, very fair as well in their support of all the riders. Philipp Walsleben of Germany riding for the BKCP team. BKCP Power Plus team, the German national champion, having a settle for 2nd place. But the winner of round 2 of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup in the closest possible finish, taking the sprint, the Dutch national champion there, riding for the Rabobank development team. Lars van der Haar takes his 2nd win of the series. And the Dutch champion will, of course, increase his lead in the overall standings.
Dekoraci pohárového šampiona provádí pan inženýr Jiří Rusnok, premiér vlády České republiky.
Flowers are awarded by Prime Minister of Czech Republic, Mr. Jiří Rusnok.
And so, in honor of Lars van der Haar, the national anthem of the Netherlands is going to play out here over Tabor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Netherlands.
So congratulations to 3 outstanding riders with an outstanding performance here in South Bohemia. Powles takes 3rd, Walsleben 2nd, and van der Haar taking the win. So as the photographers get their shots and the crowd give one last salute to the winning riders, that's going to be wrapping up our coverage here of round 2 of the UCI Cyclo-Cross World Cup from the Czech Republic. We hope you've enjoyed all the action. We've had thrills, spills, crashes and sprint finishes. I've been Dan Jarvis. Hope you've enjoyed joining me for the racing.